humanly can, or in some cases humanly can't. We'll go ahead and move on to another RPG here that caught a lot of people's attention in the past week or two, and that is Baten Kaitos with our boy Baffan. What happened here?
We got a world record, y'all. That's what we got.
World record, baby.
Now, you are not reading this incorrectly.
He did not type too many numbers in there.
Do not adjust your television set at home. That is 345 hours, 3 minutes, and 12 seconds. I don't even know where to... there's a lot of things that I've shown on this show where I just don't have things to say about them, but I don't even know.
I have one question. Is this RTA or TA?
This is RTA.
Well, this is an RTA.
Now, the body was not a TA part. It was not an RTA part.
Yeah,
but the run was an RTA.
Yes.
Okay.
It is worth noting. You know, I'd be curious if somebody runs stats on this. I want to know what percentage of this run is sleeping.
Yeah, what is holding the control?
Because there were portions of this run where you would go to the stream and it would be at 16 hours and it would say something like run will resume at 25 hours. So like he's losing 9 hours of sleep. I mean which is totally understandable when you're playing something this long, but I'm just curious, like what percentage of that time is spent not playing the game?
Well, maybe more accurately, we should say what percentage is spent not actually playing the game. Because he may be up, he just can't do anything because he's waiting for whatever.
I mean, surely he does
Also
other
true.
things besides play this game and sleep.
Right.
Like,
yeah. So part of
Baten
Kaitos is just sitting around and waiting for items to kind of fall to you, right?
Well, it's just one item that takes like 340 hours or some absurd crap.
Right.
And it's like a brush or something for the character. I think it's
what it is.
Or like a bow they put. I think it's like I think it's like shampoo or something. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, it's something absurd.
Yeah, I remember Adam, another part of the KH community. He told me about this at a RPG Limit Break. To note, this is not the first time this guy has done this.
No, that's probably the most impressive part of this whole thing. How many times?
This is like the third time he's done this.
Like the third time.
Christ.
Yeah, I think he said he like cut his time by like 2 hours or something like that.
Yeah, the most impressive part is that he's just happy he cut it by 2 hours. That's.
I think my favorite part is in his like run notes, or I don't know. Do you have the notes with you?
I can try to find them quick. Do you have them?
Anyway,
I have them here.
Okay, I know I have them somewhere, but
yeah, I think the best part was just something about like his possible time save or whatever.
I estimate I can save like 3 hours. I think he said it somewhere. You know, if I did this really well, I could get sub 342. Just like
just letting everyone, guys. We can cut the 342.
Like imagine having a game that you speedrun where you say, "Yeah, I could save 3 hours."
And imagine that not meaning anything. That's the worst part. Like he's got so many hours here.
Shit.
What's 3 hours? Yeah.
This time.
What's 3 hours to 345?
Oh my god.
It's
here's my okay. This is a crazy event you're running. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do this like a 2-week long speed run. It'll be cool. If I'm gonna do it a second time, I better be 1,000,000% sure that I am going to PB. I'm not committing 2 weeks of my life and not having green numbers.
If that run does not finish with a new best for you, I feel like that's the point where you decide, all right, the outdoors look pretty good today. The sun is out.
We'll leave this here.
Yeah, that's the point where you set the controller down and it just gains a little dust.
Okay, so I'm reading this for the first time, and you have to get every single item in the game.
Correct.
There's an item. It's one of the first lines called the shampoo.
Yeah, that's it.
Literally takes 2 weeks, which is the equivalent of 336 hours of game time to evolve into splendid hair, and you need that too. So you have to spend 336 hours minimum waiting for this item to evolve into another item.
Yeah, so part of the problem with explaining that is that it kind of ruins the illusion here, because you're going to end up needing that much time anyway. So you've got all that time to acquire everything else. Yeah. So okay, we're starting to desensitize the viewers here and explain it to them, but nonetheless, that's still a lot of time.
So this is the point. Everyone likes to bring up this question. Is this a speed run?
And the runner himself will tell you it's not. He actually specifies that in his kind of his little pace spin there.
Non-speedrun in our.
Why
That's right.
wouldn't it be a speedrun?
The timer's running. I give it. Yeah, sure.
It's very slow.
I would call it a speedrun personally.
I mean,
the goal of any speedrun is to go as fast as possible, and I mean, like, you are attempting to cut time off of, like, you know, as quickly as you can go, like, multiple times. I would call it a speedrun if your true goal, like, after doing this 3 or 4 times, is to go as quickly as possible, then yes, I would call it a speedrun, regardless of how long it is.
Just the very fact that he attempted it again.
Yeah, there you go. That's definition of a speedrun right there.
And he did improve it. This is not like an arbitrary. No, okay, he had to bring the time down a little bit. I would definitely agree with you guys on some levels and not on others. Like the way I personally define a speedrun, I told Darkman and Golden this the other night. Yes, the time itself does not matter. I don't like a lot of people are like, oh, once like they say it for Kingdom Hearts, like, oh, 4 hours. How is that a speed run? Like the time itself does not matter. I don't care whether your game is 20 minutes or 20 hours, like, or 400 hours, whatever it has to be. Like, as long as, here's my definition, as long as for the entire run you are thinking about how to go as fast as you can, whatever the length of that is, then it is a speed run. As long as you are always thinking, how am I going to do that? I just think it looks a little more like you see if you can fit everything within a time limit.
Yep.
Effectively at 336 hours. So it's a little different to me. But yeah,
I think it's interesting that the runner doesn't categorize it as a speed run, but then when we present it to the chat, they're all saying, "Yeah, it's a speed run. The clock's running. He's trying to go fast. The chat's behind him." So there you go. That's I think he's overruled.
I think the best definition I saw in chat, somebody said a speed ? Run. That's pretty accurate.
Sure, yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean that's not the bus you want to be on if it's going cross country. You're not gonna not going to be able to enjoy that bus ride, but
you got to call it something. I mean, you can call it a speed run. It's
fine. Sure. I don't care.
It's fine to me.
I don't care. I'm not going to try to do it.
You can do whatever you want with your life. Yeah. No, but Baten Kaitos, I mean, this is a game that I feel like it doesn't get any attention other than when this happens. It's an interesting game. It's an interesting game. It's a fun RPG.
What's like the any percent for this game?
What is the any percent? That is a good question. I want the comparison. Yeah.
This is by far the more famous record of that game, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be curious to know. Somebody in chat will go look it up for us. We want to know what the Baten Kaitos any percent record is. I imagine it is hundreds of hours faster. There we go. Yeah. 14 hours and 44 minutes. There you go.
There you go.
That's substantial.
Hey, Xenogears is longer.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. That was an interesting attempt of the week of the weeks of the month.
That's a good way to make up for it all.
Of the week.
Okay, well, like one final thought before we leave this. When do you start to think in your head like it's time to do this again? You know, like, do you let it sit for half a year and you're like, okay, I'm starting to feel it again, or is it like, are you already planning for number 4?
That's my 100,000 follower special.
There you go. Okay.
All right, you heard it right here, folks.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it because you're gonna be big, Dark Man. So.
All right. No, seriously. If I get 100,000 followers, I will speedrun Baten Kaitos 100%.
All right. If you tweet that, I'm retweeting. So.
All right.
We'll see it after the show.
After the show.
All right. Let's move on.
HQ. I'm gonna plug.